Hey, y'all, and welcome to Women of a Particular Age podcast, where we discuss women's views, life lessons, and a little bit of sugar honey iced tea. Y'all, happy Sunday. It is a beautiful day out here in sunny California. It is Wonder Pickle. I've been out all day. I went to church, got my little hallelujah time. I got to pray. And there's something else that I do on the weekends that you guys don't know anything about. But before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe. JollyStudios at gmail.com, www.jollystudios.com. Let's go ahead and move forward with the intro. And when we come back, I'm going to let y'all know what I do on the weekends. Stay tuned. Hey, I'm glad that y'all stayed. So, once again, welcome to Women of a Particular Age podcast. So, I bet you guys are asking, where Heather at? You know where Heather's at? Heather is having a little R&R with her husband this weekend. So she has allowed Tara to be on the platform by herself. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right. So y'all got me today. So listen, before we get started, what do we do? Ooh. Let me let y'all see what that mug says. If y'all can't see it, you know what it says? It says Audacious Faith. This is a mug that they give out at our church for free. All right. And yes, y'all, just so you guys know, I do go to Shepherd Church in Porter Ranch. I've been going there for about 7 years. My mother is the one that started going when we moved from where we lived before to Northridge. And then we started going to Shepherd Church. My mother became a member. And then I just started going with her. And then I've been there ever since. But let's go ahead and let's get into the topic because the topic is very, very important. And today's topic is Jesus is my co pilot. Ooh, I know y'all want to know what I'm talking about. And you guys are going to know. Okay. Now, if you guys listen to my tagline when I first start the podcast, it says women's views, life lessons, and a little bit of sugar honey iced tea. Now, just so you guys know, um, I did that on purpose because I always think ahead and I didn't want it to be something very specific and I didn't want to be held to something specific. And I'm so glad I followed my first mind. And who knows, maybe God put that in my mind. The reason being is because I didn't know that when I was going to do this podcast one day by myself when Heather was out, I didn't know that it was going to spearhead me into another journey on my own. Okay. Now, keep in mind, I've done this podcast a couple of times by myself, and I love doing it by myself. I love doing it with Heather, but I love doing it by myself when I get to talk about God because it's really, really, really important to me. Okay. So I I want to let you guys know what I do on the weekends. So you guys, when I first started this journey as far as living for God, like really living for God, like really putting all these things that I did away and actually move forward and thinking and keeping my mind on God, I wanted to figure out a way to testify. Now I already testify talking to people about God. You've seen my friend Shawnee here. You're going to see some of my other friends here. And people who know me, I've always been a godly person, even when I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I always talked about God. It just always was in me. My mother raised me to be that person. So I always was that person. But today, I'm really trying to live the way that God wants me to live. So, in going back to testifying, I didn't want to just testify in one way. I wanted to testify another way. So, I know that I'm busy with this podcast. I'm doing some voiceover work personally, and my husband does the music. And I'm just really busy. So, I wanted to find a way where I could testify and still help other people come to God. So let me tell y'all what I do on the weekends. Y'all, on the weekends, I am an Uber driver. I bet y'all saying, oh my God, she done picked up another job. Well, let me tell you guys something. Yes, I'm an Uber driver on the weekends. I'll say from Friday to Sunday. I am an Uber driver on the weekends. I do like it. I do like the extra money, but I'm going to really be honest with you. I don't really need the extra money. It's like gas money, but I actually work at home. The reason why I love doing the Uber driving is because doing the Uber driving, I get to testify. All right. So I wish I would have brought one of my little cards from church. But what happened is some months ago, our pastor uh, made sure to let everybody know that they were going to be giving out these invitational cards. And they gave you like a big stack of them. And I had them, and I didn't want to do what everybody else did. I wanted to be different. So I hope I was different in doing this. I don't know. Maybe there's other people at my church who are Uber drivers. But I wanted to be different in my testimony. So the first time they gave me a stack of cards, guess what I did? Where I live, I put them on everybody's car here. Okay. I thought that that was cool, but I didn't feel like that was good enough. So guess what? Since I wanted to be an Uber driver, because my daughter, instructed me how it worked and how you can do it, I decided that while I was going to be an Uber driver, I was going to be passing out these cards while I'm an Uber driver. So let me tell you what I do. Of course, if you're an Uberer or a DoorDash person, you know how it goes. You're sitting, you're waiting for someone to buzz you. You get a little buzz on your phone, and then you go to the place that they've ordered, and then after that, you head to where the person lives. So what always happens is what I do is when I get the food and I confirm I've gotten the food, I either staple the card to the bag, or I fold it and put it inside the bag, or I tie it up with the bag. I bet you guys are like, whoa. Now, you guys, let me tell you why I do this. I do it because I feel like it's for me, it's important to testify about how good God is. Number two, it is a non-verbal way to testify. This way, what I do is I attach the card to your bag, to your food, and then you get it and you read it. And then you decide if you want to go or not, or you decide if you want to use the card or not. But the good thing for me is I did my part. I gave it to you. So it's important for me to do that. Now I know what you guys are asking. What made her want to do this? Well, y'all, it's not even made me what made me want to do this. It's really about me being on this journey. So let me explain to you what happened so you'll know what happened. I would say a couple of months ago, I was in bed, and for the first day, I kept hearing this one song play over and over and over while I was awake and while I was asleep. While I was working, the song kept playing in my head over and over and over again. It didn't just happen that one day, it happened the second day, it happened the third day, and then it happened the fourth day. But after the fourth day, I didn't hear any music. I actually had a dream. And I'm going to tell you what the dream is. The dream that I had was I woke up and it felt like I was awake and I was in the air with other people, and we were all flying upward. And you could see the air. You know when you watch Superman, and when Superman is flying, he got his arm up like that, and then you feel the air. You see the air flying, moving away from his body. That's what I saw. I actually saw that. And I was flying up with all these other people, and we were all in the air and we were all flying upward. Now, I know y'all saying everybody's coming up with their own interpretations of what they think that means. And I know you're going to ask me, what did that mean? Y'all, can I be honest with you? I didn't really care what it meant because for the past couple of days, God had already been talking to me. So the dream just solidified that God was talking to me. I don't know what the dream means. I don't know what it meant. But what I'm going to tell you is it meant that I needed to make adjustments. And I'm going to tell you, that day after that dream, I talked to my husband about that dream. I talked to my friend Karen about that dream. And after that, whatever was in my life that was crowding my life, I let it go. I didn't care. I didn't care about it. So I just let it go. Because to me, if God goes through all those efforts to try to tell you something, you need to be listening. Okay. And for me, I didn't want to go back and forth. Lord, could you tell me why this is happening? Lord, why am I up in the air? See, I ain't like some y'all. I ain't gonna ask about your questions. When God tell me to do something, or He's instructing me to do something, or you ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm cool. I don't need to have a bunch of conversations. I don't need to speak to an oracle. I don't need to speak to anybody to tell me God was trying to tell me something. And I already knew where I was in life, what I was doing and what I wasn't doing. I didn't need to know what the dream meant. I just knew that I needed to make adjustments. Okay. So now, every weekend, I get up. Now on Fridays, it's off and on because I work. Remember I work a full-time job. But on Saturdays, I can tell you guys, I get up and I'm out of here by 7 o'clock in the morning, and I don't get back here until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That means that I'm Ubering all day and putting these little cards in meals all day. I'm testifying all day long. And then on Sunday, when as soon as I leave church, as soon as I leave off the church property, I turn on my little Uber signal and I actually Uber until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is Sunday today, what I did. And then I come home and then I get on the pod like I'm doing right now. Now I'm going to tell you guys, my family does not understand where I get this energy from. Okay. They don't. But I'm just going to be honest with you. To me, the energy for me is the energy of God. It just is. I have a lot of energy. I will move around. I just feel like that. And I just want to make sure that I honor him. I felt like there was so much time that has lapsed that I didn't. And now I want to make sure I honor him. So y'all, just so you know, I live in the San Fernando Valley and I'm an Uber driver. So if you see those little cards that I put on your food, your food you order, whatever, that's either me or somebody dedicated at my church who's doing it. Now, if you see me and you see me on this podcast and you see me and I deliver, tell me hi. Hey, what's up? Try seeing you on the podcast. This is cool. Now, please don't be no crazies come to my car. Okay. Because I'm going to be ready for you if you come to my car tripping. Okay. God knows I love everybody, but I don't like nobody tripping. Don't come to my car tripping. I just want love. So if you're going to come to my car, make sure you come and say, hey, Tara, what's up? How you doing? I would love to say hi to you. I ain't got no problem with it. I'm good with it. Okay, I'm good. But just know that's what I do on my weekends. I am an Uber driver slash testimony for God person. Okay. All right. So now we're going to switch gears. All right. So now I saw a movie this weekend with my daughter. Excuse me. And it's Kool-Aid. Okay. I saw a movie this weekend with my daughter and her partner, and we couldn't wait to see the movie. So let me tell you what the movie was. The name of the movie is Woman in the Yard. Now, I know you have seen this, all the advertisements. You've heard the little woman's voice. Today's the day. Listen, this movie. Let me find a picture. Okay, let me find a picture of this woman in this yard, child. Let me find a picture. Here y'all go. All right. Now, y'all, this movie is an hour and 25 minutes. It just came out. All right. And let me find the description of the movie, which is: a mysterious woman repeatedly appears in a family's front yard, often delivering chilling warnings and unsettling messages, leaving them to question her identity, motives, and the potential danger she might pose. Now, let me give you a little background about this movie before I say anything. And I'm going to give you a lot of background because I'm going to tell you guys something. This is not a movie that you go sit down and you'll understand what this movie is when you see it. Okay, so let me give you some background. Now, there's a woman and two children. The woman's name is Ramona. Now, Ramona is a widowed single mother who was disabled after a car accident that killed her husband, David. She cares for her two children, Taylor and Annie, but she is strict and emotionally distant from them. A mysterious woman draped in black appears in the front yard, claiming that today's the day. The woman uses shadow magic to attack their dog Charlie, who goes missing and is presumed dead. Ramona tries to keep the children away from the woman, who seems to know the true circumstances around David's death. Ramona made the kids think that he was driving and caused the accident. But it was really Ramona who was driving and crashed the car after an argument with David about her unhappiness with her life, marriage, and family. The woman then seems to be using a dark power to antagonize the family. When they say the woman, that's the woman in the yard, and seemingly takes the children away. Ramona surrenders herself to the woman and agrees to send the children away for safety if she is going to die. Y'all, y'all. So let's talk about this movie. All these things that you heard happened. You got a woman in the yard, draped in black, with blood in her hands, talking about today's the day. You got Taylor and Ashley was inside the house, which is Ramona's children, trying to figure out who this woman is. But all the time, you guys, Ramona knows who the woman is. Now, what I'm going to tell you is this. I know what you're thinking. You're asking me, Tara, did you like this movie? Excuse me. I didn't dislike the movie. I am going to tell you, the movie was very, very ambiguous until you got to the end, or unless you read it online what the movie was about, until you got to the end and it talked about people unaliving themselves or people who have mental illness, and they gave you a number where to call. So now let's talk about that. So it sounds like, and this is what we gathered, that Ramona, the wife, was very deeply depressed because her husband died in this car accident that she happened to cause. And she didn't want to be in this world anymore. So what she was doing is she was praying for death. And guess what? The woman who's in the yard is the death angel. And what she's doing is she's coming to assist Ramona in what she prayed for. But what ends up happening, y'all, is at the end of the movie, Ramona decides that she does not want to die. She doesn't want to die. She wants to stay and take care of her children. So that's how the movie ended. Um, hmm, uh, I felt like the movie was okay. Um, I wouldn't say not to go see it. Once again, I am going to tell you, this movie was very, very ambiguous, and I wouldn't have figured out what was going on until at the end they discussed people unaliving themselves, and also if you needed help for mental illness. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So mm, otherwise, y'all, I don't think I would have known what any of it meant. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We was sitting there puzzled. Me and my daughter and her party, we was puzzled. We was lost. It was like, what is this about? But I am going to tell you what I did love was today's today. I'm silly. So that's what I liked. So that was the movie that I saw this weekend. Okay. All right. So listen, I'm going to get off of here. So listen, y'all. Thank you for joining me today. Before you leave, please like, share, and subscribe. Jollystudios at gmail.com, www.jollystudios.com. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on the ride with me. Heather will be back next week. I love y'all, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Peace.